Hi, beautiful soul family. Um, a lot of messages coming through this morning as I walk. The song Redemption Song from Bob Marley. Um, that's been a huge over and over and over this morning. So I sat and I listened to the song, and a lot obviously that came through with that. In regards to if you've been feeling that you need to speak, whatever that is, because a lot of true speaking's been coming up recently. It's due to the fact that you are meant to be helping people progress on their journey. And due to obviously everything that's been going on for years and years, in aspect of if you speak about God and so on and so forth, that you're ridiculed, you're laughed at, whatever the scenarios that you've gone through, that you tend to hide yourself away and you've been scared of speaking up. Generations and generations of witches, for instance, like all the witch trials all those years ago, was due to women or males, obviously, that was in awareness of healing themselves and healing others, in regards to, they had messages, they knew how to live off the land and work the land, but obviously, due to hierarchies, as they call them, has not been wanting people to do that. That's what all the witch trials were and everything. So there's a lot of people that have maybe witch wounds and, just generational wounds. There's, this is the time now, like I said, where, it's time that we all speak up and meet our fellow soul family, the ones that are here to bring people back, the prophets, the ones that are here to speak the truth, to show people that there is a better life than the one that we've been living. We've been trapped in this mentality that that it's, that everything that happens and we have no control over it, but majority of it could be the fact of, it's your mind, your mental slavery that's been created over the years to keep us trapped in this illusion of, this is the way that life is and there is no other way. This is where we now can have self-awareness and understand that, that our thoughts are very powerful. They control everything that we do on a day-to-day basis. What you think about, you bring about. They want me to remind you that, because I've got a lot of notes, that, like I say, I've just woke up with this morning. I've took my son to school and it's just been flooding through. They're saying that the mental slavery was designed, obviously poverty, having to work all the time, everything like that. That was the form of war. That was, like I said, the slavery mental trap of, keeping us believing that we have to work really hard to get to where we're meant to be going. And the thing is that they're saying that you have come with the generational, you are the generational curse breaker. You've come with knowledge. You've always had quite good self-awareness, but due to everything that's gone on from obviously childhood has changed all that over the years because you was too scared to maybe speak up, or not maybe that, just the fact that you were scared, the fact that you didn't trust in yourself and what you knew. They want to really emphasise on the fact that you are a prophet and that you are here to create freedom for others, to know that it's okay now to change things and to, do things. It's not about what other people are doing, it's about what you want to do. It's bringing yourself out of the mental, because the mental is mind, and what you create in your mental space is what program that you're living in on a day-to-day Oh gosh. This is third time, and every time I've come to that point, I've started to cough. This message has not been wanting to come out. Like I say, I've been pondering on this all day and writing down my notes, and every time I come to that point, I start coughing. It's like, they don't want us to speak about how we can free others, how we can help others, because every single one of us has a gift to do that. We're all born with these gifts. It's just having the self-awareness. They want you to... I am is very important. It's very powerful. Ask, I am. When you sit with yourself, I am. What would make my life an absolute celebration? How can I move forward? Because I am. And I think that from such a young age, like I say, we tell ourselves, I am this, I am that, or we get told that we are this and we are that. So we say, I am, I am. And I am is very important. Because be still and know that I am God. It's so, so important. We was made within God's image, therefore, whatever we spell, because this is why it's called spellings. When you speak, you're spelling, you're creating your life every single day by you, whether you speak it verbally or whether you are thinking it. Each moment is a present. It's the present moment. It's a gift. That's why it's called the present moment, because it's a gift. So your self-awareness is so important to who you want to become, who you are already. The fact that you want to become something is the fact that you was always meant to be that. Whatever that means to you, because we all have a different purpose as to being here. There is certain amounts of us. Everybody is chosen. This is something I want to emphasise on. Everybody is chosen, but only few choose to step forward. So there's none of this that I'm better than you, you're better than me. It's just some know how to play this game better than others. Especially, the people who, the 13 founded families. They have passed down generation after generation after generation after generation of, of knowledge. Because this is what it is. It's all about knowledge. It's all about self-awareness, being aware. They passed down throughout their history of this is the way that life is, hence why they are where they are. Because they have the knowledge and the self-awareness of being what they're meant to. Because there's certain families. There is certain families that, like I say, come with this knowledge, and then there's certain families that have to learn by themselves. And becoming chosen means that you choose to step up and follow your intuition, follow the higher guidance that you're being given from God, source, universe, however you want to address, male or female. Because I believe that God is masculine and feminine, because one without the other, there is no creation. I believe that there's a lot of us, like I said, I'll get back to that point, that, that about being chosen, there is a grid, what we call a grid. There's certain people in each town, each country, each place that have the light come on within them, that they choose then to, raise their frequency to know that I am. So whatever their I am is, they're raising that frequency for most people. Because if you're one person, say on one street, you're that grid person on that one street, so then you elevate others around you without even realising that you're doing that. So what I want to emphasise on is the fact of when we try and speak to certain people, they are not willing to understand because they don't believe, because they're not meant to. It's not for us to get angry or to feel upset that others do not understand the journey that we're on, because we're meant to understand the journey that we're on, not other people. We just need to know that we are spreading light, and there's numerous amounts everywhere, so there's numerous amounts of people, so it's classed as a grid. So when one light comes on, another light comes on, and so on and so forth. So it lights up the street, if that makes sense in explaining it that way. So as long as you're doing what you're meant to be doing, it's not about everybody else. Because once you start to shine your light and elevate, others will see that, and then that's up to them if they then choose to do so. The emphasising on the frequency, which you can type into on Google, 852 hertz. The frequency, it's bringing in your soul tribe. So when you listen to that, you know there's others on your path that are also doing the same thing, so you become on the same frequency. And this is where you're going to start meeting soul family, because a lot of people have been in hermit mode. You know, we've gone into staying at home, or whatever that means to you, being in hermit mode, not really going out doing the things that we used to always do to find enjoyment. Our enjoyment now is going within, sitting in silence, creating our craft, whatever that craft is for you, because we all, like I say, we all have different purposes. One of the really strong messages that come through this morning is God never anointed you for approval of others. You was chosen to have an impact that stays. So I think we spend a lot of time worrying what other people are going to think about us, because again, like I said, it's been a generational cycle to keep ourselves hidden because of fear of what we've maybe seen other people go through when they speak the truth. So we've kept ourselves quite hidden. But what God is trying to put across here is that you was given gifts to raise your frequency, to bring everyone back to what we came here with, amnesia. Because when we're born, it's with the understanding that we forget, knowing that we're going to find our way back. And there's a lot of people, places and things that are designed to sway us off that track, for us to not remember who we are. You know, because there was the belief and knowing that we was always going to find our way back, and so we are. They want you to speak blessings over your life and your loved ones every single day. So if you can't reach them through speaking to them, to bless them verbally every day, to bring them within your prayers. Building your kingdom from within is so important. So reminding yourself, I am who I am. I am that I am. You're perfectly as you're meant to be. You are perfectly on time. There is never you're late about anything. You started to see things when you was meant to see things. You had to go through certain trials and tribulations in life to bring you to this point. So whenever this point is for you on your journey, you're on the right path. You are now, when you see this video, you have shifted a timeline. This is confirmation that you are shifting timelines. Some days, that depending on your thoughts and how things are going, get out of bed, stumping your toe can, set you back to the other timeline. But then you now been more quickly aware of, okay, I see that now. So you are changing your frequency on a daily basis, on moment to moment. I mean, whereas before it'd take you days, then hours. Now it's coming a lot quicker now, where you're catching yourself. Because your negative energy cycle now is changing. You are becoming self-aware. You are I am. Because you're a warrior in human form. Once you see the strength and the knowledge that you have within, and the constant wanting to be better, the saying you are perfectly, beautifully on time. Because I think that once we learn one thing, we're so eager to then, oh, let's learn, and we miss the present moment, the gift that we had in the knowledge that we learn, and the being able to spread the awareness to others, that we get so fast on, right, what's the next thing I can do, what's the next thing I can do, rather than sitting in that moment and being grateful the fact that you got to where you are now. We're so in a rush always to be better, but this is what they're stating, you are perfectly where you're meant to be. Each day there'll be new things. When you focus on the fact of you're doing absolutely amazing and you're perfectly on time, you know, breathing that I am, that's when, you know, you will open yourself up to so much more. Because you have changed the pattern. You are changing the pattern. You have changed so much already. And they want you to be so much in the gratitude of the fact of how far you have actually come. Because you was hidden in plain sight. God hid you in plain sight for a reason. You know, there's so much knowledge that you've had to learn over the years, that if you'd have come out speaking about this years ago, you wouldn't have had the knowledge that you have today to be able to help and guide others. So it wouldn't have worked out then. This is why God wants you to know that you are perfectly on time, because the knowledge every day, the more knowledge that you gain and the more that you're sitting with yourself and really being grateful for who you truly are and how far that you've come, that you will see. You will gain more knowledge every single day once you start to trust yourself and be grateful for where you are. Also, when money comes in, because it will, because you're meant to share, you're meant to help and inspire others, they want you to keep quiet about that. Because you're still at a point where, you know, you will have a lot of people come in that are not meant to still be in your space, but once you speak about the fact that you know money is coming to you and that you are living a good life, that once you speak about that, then that's when you'll get elongated with loads of negative people that are not meant to share that wealth yet. You will know when it's time. Because like I said, the work that you've been doing, the faith and the trust and listening to your guidance and loving yourself, because loving yourself really starts within. When you really start to love yourself, then you attract love, pure love. Your body's now shifting so much that your hair, whatever that means to you, will start to change. You will notice it first with your hair. Maybe you've not been liking your hair for quite some time, maybe throughout the whole stress of everything that you've gone through. Maybe your hair started to thin, maybe your hair was falling out, so your hair will start to feel thicker. It will start to feel better on a more day-to-day basis. You will notice the change, and that's going to be one of your first signs that your hair will be changed, because God has seen everything that you've gone through, the stress, the worry, the heartaches, the wanting others to understand you, that it created so much stress on your body that your hair, you know, you started to notice that within your hair. But that's going to be one of the first things that will be changed. When you're so present in, you are perfectly as you are meant to be in body, because God created you perfectly as you are. When you start to have that awareness of, I'm beautiful, you know, I'm so grateful where I am, you know, blessing your food rather than speaking of, if I shouldn't be eating this, I shouldn't be eating that. When you start to speak of, you know, I'm grateful for the nourishment, no matter what that is that you're eating, because this has been a great big thing in the food industry of, oh, this is good for you and that's bad for you and so on and so forth. what I've been shown is that when you're in a happy mode, when you're eating, when you're in a happy mode, and you've blessed your food and you're grateful that you have food, that's when your body will receive the goodness from whatever it is that you're eating. I know that eating a very good diet, obviously, you know, I don't eat meat personally myself. I eat eggs very rarely, but I generally have quite a healthy raw food diet. But when I was eating something, maybe a cake or something that I wasn't meant to eat, that I thought that I wasn't meant to eat, I was really ridiculing myself for that, because I was gaining weight and I was doing, you know, and what they showed me was, when I never cared and didn't worry about, you know, how it was going to make me look and so on and so forth, because obviously I have quite a few children, when I stopped worrying about all of that, I started to become healthy. So it's speaking joy, it's speaking everything. It's like you water, when you have water, you speak into that water, you bless that water, and then you drink that, and then, you know, your body will become nourished. It'll be grateful, you'll be hydrated. So your body then is going to start changing too. And yeah, this were a massive one, underlined, like, obviously, you know, this were emphasised. You're not delusional, as others would have you believe. You know, some, like I said, some will have you feeling that you really are delusional. It's just because they're not understanding, but that's okay. It's about what you think about you. It's not about what others think about you right now. It's about what you think about you and what God's anointing you with. So singing, dancing, moving your body, you know, saying, I am healed, I am grateful that I am healed. And each day you will find that your body will start healing, because you're speaking truth over yourself. That is so important. You might have been recently wanting, because I know that you've been in hermit mode, but obviously you could live with people and so on and so forth, and you've just been wanting so much silence. You've been really wanting to shut yourself off. That's not been anything negative, although you're speaking to yourself saying, why do I keep wanting to go off on my own? Why am I trying to shut people off? It's not that you're shutting people off. You are really needing that silence. Your body's now starting to learn to regulate itself again from everything that you've been through. You are now needing that silence because you've been so busy for so long that your body is craving silence. Your mind has been needing to slow down so you can, because like I said at the beginning, you are a prophet. You are somebody who's here to speak your truth and guide others. And by sitting with yourself and being in the quiet is where you are getting the messages. This is where you are starting to hear your higher self talking. You know, your guides stepping in. God is wanting you to see that the silence is self-regulation, it's self-care. And you don't have to feel bad about that, because you do need that silence at times, because you've been so fast-paced for so long. So which steps can you take each day to feel empowered? Because I'm in control of who I am. So this is a major one. Like, what steps can you do each day in the empowerment of I am? You've been having dreams, whereas normally you wouldn't remember many dreams. You might remember the odd one here and there. You've been having dreams and they want you to write them down. As soon as you're awake, write them down, because what we tend to do is that as the day goes along, we forget parts of that dream. When you wake up in the morning, It's so important that you have a pad at the side of your bed. That's if you choose to do so, obviously. To have a pad and pen and write down your feelings, what happened, you know, everything. And maybe the dream might not make sense to you on that day that you write it, but each day that you're having these dreams, you're going to start getting more messages that come through. You're going to start to understand, why these dreams came about. And there's so many messages within those dreams. There's hidden messages that they want you to. They want you. You are a tarot reader, public speaker, you know, whatever that craft is to you, what you've been wanting to bring forward, but you've just had a fear of, you know, why do I need to be heard? Why people will not want to listen to what I've got to say, but yes, they do. You are a frequency that once you have that faith in yourself will start to expand. But like it states here that, you know, you was anointed. You know, God never anointed you for approval. God anointed you to make an impact. So it's not about going on every day, because I did this to begin when I was checking how many views I got and all this, and I was told no. If your video was viewed, the video was viewed by the person that was meant to see it. Even if one person sees your video, you have helped someone. And by also doing the videos, you're also helping yourself, because you're making a personal log of everything that you know, the messages that are coming through. If you're not sitting there writing them down, I've been shown that white paper, blue pen, the sky, clouds, blue sky, clouds. When you use a blue pen, write on white paper, it's supposed to lock into your subconscious. It's supposed to make the awareness come out more. I can't remember what science that was. I know I was shown that, but again, didn't write it down. But I know that writing with a blue pen on white paper, it brings so much self-awareness that it sticks. Once you've written it down, it will stick into your mind. You was very forgetful for quite some time, and that was due to your body was going through so much that you needed that time to go within rather than speaking all the time, because a lot of us have been quite, you know, fast speakers and not listening to ourselves. But we've become in a place now, we've become on our journey to a place where we choose to listen to others now, and can, whereas at one point we wanted to tell our stories, you know, but now we wanted to actually hear other people. By doing that, we've got a better understanding of why people are the way that they are. Excuse me, clarification. We have started to see why people's patternings are the way that they are, because also we've done that ourselves. We have started to see that it's okay to give people that freedom to be able to be themselves. But we've also noticed the patterning of others, that when they are speaking, that they're constantly speaking in past tense, that they haven't healed, or they're not aware to heal their inner self, which takes time. It's not something that you just do overnight and it's done. But we have started to observe. We've become the observers. We're able to see now why things happen the way that they happen. Confidence, like I said, confidence, it's just shooting out with them. Confidence is one of the main things right now. You know, have confidence in knowing that you are here for a reason, you're here for a purpose, and you have a huge purpose. And it's okay to not know what that purpose is, because the more that you learn who I am, as in you say I am, the more that you will build that confidence, because you are a warrior in human form. This is a journey that You know, we're always going to be on in this lifetime, because it's a never-ending journey. We came here for this reason. The more we learn, the more we want to observe, the more that we want to share and be there for others, but especially more so to take time each day and ask what you need, because again, that's very important for self-awareness, self-care, is to know that you are perfectly on time. So okay. So I'll pull up a few cards now, because obviously I think I've spoken everything I was meant to. I mean, maybe go and listen to the song, Redemption Song, Bob Marley. Because I know I've listened to the song many times before, and I woke up this morning singing it, and I haven't listened to Bob Marley for a few weeks. And if I do listen to Bob Marley, it's generally Don't Worry, you know, Three Little Birds, or, you know, but that song really stuck in my mind this morning. So I went and listened to it, and, you know, I really felt it. I got goosebumps and everything. And then that's when all my messages started to come through. That's when I started to understand why I had to hear the song. Thank you. Yeah, ask your spirit guide. Ask your spirit guide. This is why, you know, you've been going into the silence, because you are now. I don't know if you can see that. Can you see the persons going up? This is where they want you to connect with who you are. Because you've had spirit guides around you the whole time. You know, and as you evolve and as you grow, you get new spirit guides that come in, and they're really wanting you to connect with them. You know, we all have a guardian angel. There could have been times where, you know, you could have fallen and you're like, wow, how did I not just seriously really hurt myself then? I had a moment where I slipped in my kitchen, and I'd gone forward, but then, and all my children were there and they all saw it, and I'd gone forward and I kind of and then went back, and they was all like, wow, and I was like, did you see that? And I got so excited, and that's like, you know, this happened quite some time ago, and then I was like, that is crazy. You know, and then that's what made me start to really truly see the depths of what's actually going on around us at all times. Okay, so they want me to read this one. You might grow to find that there is no actual right or wrong in this situation, and that everything happens in order for a lesson to be learned. Now is a good time to remember that your spirit guide is helping you to understand your own life lessons, and you will soon come to know why you chose them this time around. You may wonder why you have given yourself such difficult tasks, but once you understand your lessons, you won't have to learn them again. Also, by learning them, you will give yourself power over the rest of your life. So this is, like I said, I'm not sure if I said this earlier, I think I did, but you've gone through all these experiences in life to now know your strength and that you're worthy. To know that no matter what you go through in life, that you've come out at the other end more empowered than you ever did when you stepped here. This is about you understanding who you are and what purpose that you came here for. This is about knowing that each moment has been clarity for you to understand your journey. And this is why you've been going within quite a lot recently, because you know this. Spirit's saying that you have more of an understanding today than you ever did last week and months ago. So each day is a new journey. Each day is a new step where you will learn something else about why and what and where. This is where now, because you are changing the pattern. You know, you are becoming more self-aware. When your head becomes too full of information and no answers come to mind, it's time to be still and tune into your guard. Find a moment when you can relax your body and quieten your mind. Then you will hear answers from your spirit guide. Even when your head is overfull with thoughts, your guide will still speak. This time to your heart, and you will receive a feeling that will let you know that your guide has answered your call. You can ask your guide anything. So this is massively what they want you to emphasise on, because you are a prophet, and the reason that they want you to know this is because you have messages coming through to share. You will know which things that you're meant to share with others, and you will know which things to keep for yourself. Because some things are meant for just you right now, that is to evolve you, and you will know what those things are. And like I said, the meditation side for me was, I think I spoke about this previously in a video, meditation for me was sitting there trying not to have any thoughts. And I was like, well, how can I do that? Because I have millions of thoughts at a time. And they said it's not about quieting the thoughts, it's about understanding the thoughts, listening to the thoughts. And in those thoughts is where you're going to get your information that you need. Your thoughts are what control you on a day-to-day basis. But when you can sit there and understand the thoughts, you can understand why they was there, and if it was a past thing that you've been replaying for quite some time, that needs to be addressed, that needs to be looked at. And the more that you do that and you don't try and push down the thoughts, because the more we push them down, it's like getting a rucksack and you're filling it with your stuff, but there's only so much stuff you can put in there before the bag's going to break. They want you to know that it's okay to have these thoughts, because who you've been is what's got you here today. The strength that you found along your journey, the knowing of how much you can fit in that backpack. You've packed it for quite some time, that you now know what you can hold and what you can't. So this is where they want you to really just be in the knowing of who you are. You'll hear a song, write that song down. You sat there quiet doing whatever it is that you're doing, staring out at the sky, whatever it is that you do to find that peace for yourself. In those moments you'll hear songs, you'll hear something that someone said, you'll remember something that happened, and the more you write it down, that's where you start to see your messages. So you start to go, oh, I understand that now, that makes sense, now I see. And the more that you start to have trust in yourself, and you start to be like, I'm grateful for that message, I'm grateful that I saw that, the more that you will come to a better understanding and know why it was there and why you can help others with that thought. See, I thought this video was going to be quite short, we're already 38 minutes in. But Spirit really wants to emphasise on, each present moment is a gift, it's your choice. But it's always your choice. And if you don't choose to speak, that's okay too. If you don't choose to come forward and you still want to be in your quiet space and you still want to feel that that's again your choice. They really want you to emphasise on that. There is no time. Time is an illusion. I'm 44 years old and it's taken me a long time to get to where I've got to. I've been doing this now for quite some years, and it's only just recently that I found the confidence, because I was shown that the right time's never going to be the right time. It's the now moment, and that's what I did. I just took the leap of faith one day, and they showed me that the universe is going to catch me, God, source, whoever you address, our creator, because we're all one of the same. How you speak upon others is how you feel about yourself. Your brain doesn't know the difference whether, if you're in a conversation and you're talking about somebody else, your brain doesn't know the difference between you or them, because I am. So each time you speak, you're spelling. So each time that you speak of others, like I say, your body doesn't know, your brain doesn't know the difference, it takes it as its own. So that's why it's so important to to have no judgment, because your brain is then judging you. And I was shown Alakesh, Alakin. For I am you and you are me. What I do to you, I do to myself. Because we're all one. We was all created, you know, we're one. You're getting clarity, a fresh start and positive outlook. Yeah, this is from the confidence that you are now choosing to have. Yeah, having a lot of passion. You're having a lot of passion right now. What can you create? So this is about your clarity. This is about your fresh starts. This is about you now choosing you. That I am. The return. A new story. You decide. Alignment. It's coming together. So like I said, you're perfectly on time. You are always going to be here at this moment. We've maybe veered off and gone down different paths, and we've done this and we've done that, but it's always been the right one. Each path that you've taken, each step that you took was the right one. There was never going to be any other way. And even if there was, we can't go back and rewrite our story. But we can tell ourselves that it's okay for the story that we've been in. That we can give ourselves grace in that moment now, because we're not there now. We are not, like I said, we're not the same person that we was last week. And next week, we're not going to be the same person that we are today. Slow down, tend to your garden. So this is showing, you know, like you being at that point where you are, you know, slowing down your emotions. You are at that point where you need to tend to yourself now, and this is the reason that you have been in hermit mode. It's the reason that you have wanted the quiet time, because now you're tending to what you need. Sureness of the soil, unseen help, support and community. Yes, you are going to be calling in your soul family. This, you know, by you speaking out, by you creating your videos and you doing whatever it is that you're doing, you are going to start receiving unseen help. You know, this is showing, can you see her there? And then above is the helper there, giving them knowledge and expressing how much it is to be okay. It's okay. It's always been okay. Becoming grounded, embodiment, living in connection. So yeah, again, this is, like I said, this is you giving yourself that love, devotion, you know, the pleasure, what makes you live in ecstasy, what makes you feel good. This is about you now knowing that you are the prophet, you are the one that's come here to embody, you know, whatever that means to you. You're here to rewrite your story. Your story is what you believe it is. You know, even if somebody comes along and says your story is this, your story is whatever you think it is. It's not about what anybody else thinks. It's always been about what you think. Like, again, you know, this is a quote that my mother always said to me. It's not your business to know what other people think. It's only your business to know what you think. And how does that make sense? And as the years have gone on, you know, I listened to a lot of quotes that my mother said. And that is one that's massively stuck out in my brain. And now I understand, because the only reason it becomes my business is when I listen to others and take on that as my own. The only time that it's my business is what I think is my business. Because the thinking mind is so powerful. It's mental slavery if you allow it to be. If we listen to news and we listen to everything that's going on, what we need to be doing more is spreading, you know, this is what I want the world to look like. This is what I imagine life to be. Yeah, because you are the star mother. How can you mother yourself today? How can you give to yourself maybe what you never received that you needed as a child. You've been training for this for lifetimes. You are getting your power from your thoughts, from your higher self. You've known this all along. You came here with the knowledge. It's just remembering the knowledge is what you've been doing, and which is why you've been going into observer mode. Which is why you've been going into the time. And that when you sat and asked yourself what you expected from others, it's what you expected from yourself. And when we let go of what we expect from others and just love ourselves and love everyone anyway, that's when we start to feel love truly. Because like I say, you are clearing your energy now for the messages to come through that have needed to be coming through. Share your voice. You are now coming out of the cave. You're now coming out now to shine your light. This is your time now. Just say yes. Just say yes. This is now where your soul tribe will be coming in. This is where now you will start to see why you was always here in the first place. Why you was always here in the first place. But why you had to go through each lesson that you've gone through. Boundaries. Where do you need to establish better boundaries? Can you see that there's this one person here in the middle, and then you've got everybody reaching out. You know, you've got all these hands. You have been so fast-paced. Everybody's been wanting so much from you. That Divine's saying now, where can you set better boundaries? Where can you have that time for yourself? Where can you put a boundary in place? And if somebody crosses that boundary, if you say, I don't like the way that you speak to me, and then that person continues to speak to you that way, lovingly walk away. This is about you loving yourself now. It's about self-care and self-awareness. So this is about now, you know, how can you set better boundaries that is going to improve your future and make you feel better. Because the ones who keep breaking those boundaries are not the ones that are meant to be in your time with you. Dance with life, do something to change your energy, yeah, because this is what they were showing me. Sing, dance, you know, whatever that were for you, that's massively what they're emphasising right now. They want you to now enjoy life again. What do you like? What do you want? What do you feel? You know, what thoughts have you been telling yourself every single day? Be clear about where you are putting your focus right now. Focus on your desired outcome. You have everything within to create the life of your dreams. Stop doubting yourself for once. This is your time. We've got you. No, I don't know if you can see that. But yeah, again, this is, you know, it's the same message now coming out over and over and over. What can you do now to clear your mind, to focus on what, you know, what you've been thinking for so long, and say it's okay that I've thought that, and it's okay that I've been there, and it's okay. It's okay. Now you can catch yourself in those thoughts and say it's okay, but this is how I am going to feel now, and do something in that moment. What can you do for yourself? Sing, dance, create. Your voice is meant to be heard. Your voice is meant to be shared. And it will spark some. We all come here with people that we're meant to be on a journey with. And when you share your voice, your actual voice, it will spark something in someone. Go back to the heart of who you truly are. There you will find peace. Look at your life in its entirety. Acknowledge any old wounds and then release them, yeah. Apologise. Use what they taught you as added strength. Keep moving forward with a renewed sense of confidence. So everything you've learned along this way has been for you to take parts that you've needed and leave the rest behind. But it's not for you to keep filling that bag and carrying that load. It's about for you taking the parts of what you need on this journey now. It's about you having an understanding of who you truly are. It's about you now creating the life of your dreams. Seeing how strong that you are, truly. You know, what is it that what better boundaries do you need to set? And asking your spirit guides. Because again, like I say, you know, you've got a fresh start coming in, a new story. You decide. Slow down and take your time. There is no need to rush everything. You are already doing your part. Trust that what belongs in your life is already making its way towards you in divine timing. Because this is, you know, it's divine timing. The time that we know here is not the time that we are on. It's an illusion. It's a, you know, we need to do this by this date and we need to do that by that date. You will do things because you are the prophet. You will gain your confidence. You will set better boundaries. One more, please. Thank you. Take some time to rest and rejuvenate. You need to pace yourself for the changes that are coming your way. They are all positive, bigger and better things are coming for you. Just relax and trust. Yeah, because this one I got, you are feeling some of your dreams have not materialised. It can be that they are feeling lost to you, or just maybe it's now time for you to move on and change your goals. Redirect your energy. Allow your path to take you. Not everything can be controlled. Have faith you're perfectly where you're meant to be. Because the things that the things that you had dreams about years ago are not the dreams that you have today. And that's why they haven't materialised. Rejection has been for God's protection. Ask your spirit guides. Ask I am. Who am I? I am that I am. Then you are perfectly on time. One more. Okay. As you honour and follow the guidance of your heart, prosperity is coming into you now. Yeah, because this is what I got. Money comes. When money comes in, keep quiet. So as you honour and follow the guidance of your heart, prosperity is coming to you now. Do you want one more? Okay. What does the angels want you to know? To make your decision, ask yourself, which way brings me closer to my divine purpose? Which way takes me away from it? So what, again, this is thoughts. When you're feeling your thoughts, is this serving me now? The thoughts that I receive, I think it's this thought that I'm receiving serving me now for the greater good. What takes me away from it? So this is why you've been wanting the silence, because these are the questions that you're wanting to remember. And like I said, the redemption song. Sorry about that. So what else do they want you to know? Affirmations. I listen to myself and acknowledge my needs. I assert myself and retain my power. I am brave and gentle. I don't have to be afraid of others, and I respect myself and I am respected by others. So this is just massively emphasising on The fact of it's now having that inner confidence, listening to yourself, acknowledging your needs, knowing how far you've come, not being afraid to use your voice. This is about you now having that control of yourself on what you choose to feel. This is all again about the mental slavery. Your thoughts are everything, they drive everything. Your subconscious mind is what is controlling everything. And as soon as you start to change your pattern, you'll find that lots of things come up on your journey that you need to be mindful about. Because is it something, because your mind will try and keep you where it is because it's known it's safe there. It's a pattern. It knows that that's how it should be, that's where you are. And when you start to change the patterning of your subconscious mind, it only knows a way that it's always been, so it'll keep trying to pull you back there. So it's just about taking those steps every single day, being mindful of your thoughts, and again, like I say, asking, is this serving me, this thought, or is it taking me away from where I know I need to be? And as long as you keep doing that with yourself, you will go so far. And I'm so proud of you. They're so proud of you. And I want to leave you with my love and hope that you have an amazing life. I'm so grateful that if you got here to this far, if you'd like, comment, subscribe, it would be absolutely amazing that we can all be on this journey together. I'm truly grateful, and the more that you like, comment, subscribe, the more I can tap into your energy. I'm truly grateful. Thank you. Take care. Bye bye.